Good morning, guys. I hope you're doing well. So this is Teacher Polite, and today we want to look at the statement of financial position. So the statement of financial position is mainly more like a screenshot that shows us the financial position of a business at a particular date. So that's why here we wrote F Trader Statement of Financial Position as at 31 December 2024. So we say as at because after 31 December, on the 1st of January, things would may actually be totally different. So it is called a screenshot of a business at a particular date because everything can just change after that. So the statement of financial position shows us how the business is performing financially, like what are the assets that are financing the activities of the business and everything like that. So we'll start with the non-current assets. So they are called non-current assets or fixed assets. So those are the assets that we're starting with. So let's start with them as financial. So financial assets, you can have financial assets like, for example, maybe a fixed deposit. So just say fixed deposit. So you put your figure here, and then so the cost, accumulated depreciation and carrying value normally doesn't apply to financial assets. So we just write it as it is. There's no need to worry about the cost, depreciation, and the carrying value. So now we move on to, let's say, land and buildings. So now we are looking at the fixed assets, land and buildings. Land and buildings. So you write down the cost, and normally land and buildings, they don't depreciate. So also, yeah, they actually appreciate in value. So we don't write anything under land and buildings under the accumulated depreciation. Then we can go on to write our, maybe we have furniture. So furniture is depreciated. So you write the figure there. So you subtract depreciation and then you get your carrying value. Then we can have maybe equipment. Put your cost, your depreciation, and your book value. Then the next one would be maybe vehicles. And then, so at the end of the day, we have to add the columns. You add, so the column that we are concerned about, that we want, is this one. So you don't underline it. Then from non-current assets, you're going to have current assets. So current assets, like we said, are assets that can be easily converted into cash. And when you're writing them, you write them in the order of liquidity, starting with the least liquid, which is inventory. Inventory is closing inventory. Then we'll say debtors or accounts receivable. Accounts receivable. Okay. Let's write receivable. Then we'll say less provision for bad debt. so that we can find our net debtors and report it in the second column. Then from there, maybe we have prepayments of expenses, prepaid expenses, then we put it in there, and then we can write down the bank, the cash. You add the total. Then from there, we are going to say less current liabilities. So we have creditors. We put in the first column. Then accruals, like the accrued expenses. And then from there, we also have things like maybe a short-term loan, a bank overdraft. So we add the totals, we transfer to the next column. So we are going to say the total for current assets minus the total for current liabilities, so that we can get what is known as the working capital. So we are going to add the working capital with the total for the net asset, net non-current assets. Then we are going to get a figure. Yeah, normally we call it capital employed. And it will be the same as, it's a balancing figure. So say financed by capital. We put our figure in the last column. Add net profit. The net profit that we found in the income statement. Then we say less drawings. So this figure is called owner's equity. So the owner's equity and the capital employed are the balancing figure. They should balance if everything that you've done is correct. So generally, guys, this is the statement of financial position of a sole trader. So that is how it goes. Okay, that's fine. So see you in the next video when we're going to be getting into the details, working out these things using questions. Thank you, guys.